Welcome back to CRS 2024, the Music Universe's first CRS. We are here with Will Wesley. I got to start, Will. We're going to talk about the music in a minute.
Sure.
I'm a Paisley fan, so we got the pattern. And I saw you out there while we were waiting to come in, and I said I love the jacket. So now I have to Joan Rivers you and ask, who are you wearing?
Who am I wearing is traditionally Will Wesley. This is actually just the Will Wesley style right here. This is how I dress.
Who's the maker of this? Do you know?
I could not tell you who the maker was. I basically found it, bought it, and went with it.
I love it. I love a man who dresses with style. That's awesome.
Yep.
So let's talk about Ready to Ride. This is a really cool, unique sound. That fiddle in the beginning kind of sneaks up on you. It's hidden behind those electric guitars, and then it comes out to the front. Talk about recording it and putting it together and the composition, and it's a really cool sound.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you have a very good ear. Would you like to know who's on that fiddle?
Please.
Legendary fiddle man Michael Cleveland.
Oh, cool.
Now, I don't know if many people out there know who I'm talking about, but this man is recorded behind the best of the best, from Doc Watson, who's my personal hero, down the line. So, yes, we had Michael Cleveland working on the track, and the recording of it really, I'm happy to say, it's just really traditionally the Will Wesley band. I put my own band on this track because I wanted to bring the music to the people in the most honest way I could. If you come see me live, this is what we sound like, and that's what this song's all about, is bringing the energy and bringing the sound to the people. But also, I want to also dedicate it to my late manager, Mr. Brian Abrams, who made all this happen. He's no longer with us, but he made all this happen, so I always got to give him a shout out.
You know, it's so cool when we see people who treat the industry like family. I've never been given a gift by an interview guest before, but we have a real Louisiana praline. This is awesome. I'm going to try this here when we're done in a minute. Well, wait a minute.
Not really.
I can. You know what, though? You're so genuine. Had it not been wrapped with a logo, I'd have believed it.
I'm not starting a praline business, but no, I didn't make it myself. But I figured if I'm going to come here and you're going to take the time to bring me on this great show, the Music Universe, I'd bring you something from Louisiana. That's a staple of Louisiana.
Well, thank you. Well, so how does being from Louisiana influence your music?
Well, you know, Louisiana has a very, very wide variety of music. You know, I come up actually starting out as a blues guitarist. You know, I played behind a lot of people playing the blues for many years. And from there, you just get a collection of so many different styles. Country was what I was born into, you know. But listening to different bands and playing behind different bands in Louisiana for so long, you kind of take elements of those sounds and bring them into your own. And a lot of people say we have an original sound. I have to credit Louisiana for a lot of that because you listen to so many different styles. It finds its way in your music.
But I also hear some kind of muscle, some kind of almost Jason Aldean type sounds behind it. It's really cool.
Well, man, I really appreciate that, and I appreciate everybody who loves the new single and those who don't as well. But, you know, I'm a big Jason Aldean fan, and I'm happy to hear that you say that because I take a lot of influence from him. So it definitely must have found its way in the music.
That's awesome. So, you're from Baton Rouge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We went to see Garth. Maybe you were there. Went to see Garth and Nola.
Yes.
My first time to Louisiana. Boy, was it a culture shock, but in the best way possible.
Yes. You know, Louisiana has a lot of magical things like that. And I'm going to tell you, I have a funny story about Garth as well.
Please.
I've seen him in Louisiana, but I didn't see him at the show you were attending. I seen him, I'm not going to go tell him my age, but I told him when I saw him when I was younger at Bear Creek Western Store out in Mount Pelier, Louisiana. Before he was big, but he wasn't as big as he was going to become. And to meet him and actually go on his tour bus is what really inspired me to be a country music artist. He really inspired me in that way. He defined my childhood, and to see him in my own hometown made me say, wait a minute, I can do this. So that's my Garth Brooks story.
He has, and I think we're seeing a lot of country artists, and I think it's just because of where the authentic sound comes from. We're seeing a lot of country artists hail from smaller towns. Lainey Wilson's also from Louisiana. There just seems to be this interest in real Southern country music.
You know, I think the reason why that is I think people are hungering for that. They're wanting the real stories of the real people, and it's coming from these small towns all over the world. And it's I hate to say it, but I think that the music industry is somewhat changing to that. People are hungering for realism again. At least that's my take on it.
That seems to be the theme, at least in the couple of interviews I've done here since I've landed this morning. That's another story. Is that we're turning back to a real traditional Southern country music sounds. People have missed steel and fiddle in their music, and country radio is playing it. So that's the important thing.
And I am embracing of this. I want to hear the fiddles come back. I want to hear the steel come back. You don't have, even if you're not a straightforward traditional country artist, I want to hear these instruments played. And I'm thinking that there's a lot of people out there like us who really want to hear real instruments and real artists tell their stories again. It's time.
It really is. Well, Wesley, you keep telling your story. This was a pleasure. Thank you so much.